Okay. Welcome to the Board of Health meeting on October 25th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Gavin Byers.
James Lookware.
And Chris Nocella, our administrator, Carla, is on remote today. Additions, deletions, Rick, I think you have a couple for me?
Yeah, so under 1.6, which is other,
Can I have a pencil?
I don't have it.
That's okay, I'll figure it out.
So under 1.6, which is other permits for approval, I've got 4 septic permits.
Okay.
So they're 238 South Row Road, which is an upgrade.
Okay,
South Row Road, Lot 2, which is new construction. Campbell Farm Lane, Lot 3, which is new construction. And 5 Madison Ave, which is an increase in flow.
okay.
What was the third one again?
Lot 3, Campbell Farm Lane.
And I want to add discussion about the TEO on Beverly Hill Road, and I also want to put the septic regs back in here tonight.
Yeah, they are in there, Jim.
That's the stable regulations.
No, it says on the bottom, septic.
Oh,
regulations.
okay, you're right.
Yep, they're there.
I
What
need
was the
new
other one you were thinking?
TEO on Beverly Road, the
Yep.
push drop off clothing and they give it away again. We
Yeah.
gotta have a discussion about that.
Okay. Okay, we can add that, we'll add that,
That could be
yeah, we'll put that into a work session.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start with 1.3, 84 Baker Road, manure
Barker.
management, Barker Road, Barker Hill Road, manure management plan. I have that in my hand. Private stables kennel. Kennel license as required for 4 dogs will no longer need, as we have 3 dogs now. I don't know their butters' names. Type animals, horse, pony, and a mini. Any production. 18 tons, is that a year?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
A
right,
year?
that's
I was hoping it's not a day. Okay. I'm gonna give this to you guys to take a peek at it. Sorry. This is gonna be a little bit of a slow meeting because we're winging it.
So this is an existing kennel that's already there?
So it's a horse barn.
Oh, it's a horse barn that's
Yeah.
going to a dog kennel. They had 4
No,
and I
No,
got
so
the
they're
other
just
way.
applying for a manure management plan for their horses.
Yeah.
And how many horses?
3.
1 horse, 2 ponies.
1 horse, 2 ponies.
Well, you guys take a look at that. I'm gonna go back and look myself.
Is this something you've seen, Rick?
Yep, so I looked over their application. I've also been out there.
Update on those, the ones we're at now.
Oh,
Chris, I'm taking notes.
Yeah, you? Okay. All right, well, let him take the notes too. All right, thank you.
we used the numbers that the previous owner had put down because we didn't know how to
Yeah,
estimate. And he had 3 horses and 1 pony. So we've got less
it
animals.
seems a little bit high on the tonnage, but that's okay, it's better to be more than one.
Yeah, it's mostly wood chips.
That's why I looked, I was like, that's why I asked how much, that's a lot of manure.
That's a lot of hay.
Yeah.
That's not, it's a wood chips and sawdust.
I mean, to feed them, to make all the manure.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that in there, that's for sure.
You guys can go ahead while I'm reading. That's okay.
Yeah. Any questions?
I just wanted to ask Rick what he thought about it.
So, I guess I'll just go over the actual map a little bit, just
Yeah.
because I was out there. So, yeah, this is Parker Hill Road right here. House sits here, septic's over here. Their well is in this area, and the barn is here. There is, so this is a wetland area here. This is kind of a wetland area here, and they are connected, and there's kind of like a bridge that goes over. So they have their compost pile over here, and then once you go over this bridge, kind of over to this area, is where they've got your kind of windrow set up where they're taking care of the compost. And so you with the wetlands right here, I mean, there's really not too far to, or too many places to really get away from it because it goes literally right through the center of the property. And so you're back here, they've kind of got an open field where they're doing that finished composting. And this area is kind of, it slopes off and it goes down to what they had identified as a wetland in the, on the septic plan for when they had put that in. It's a fairly new house. And so, and the barn is pre-existing, so it is in the location that it's in. And so, you know, my only thought was maybe possibly moving the compost into this back area, just because of kind of the drainage over here. Not that it's a bad setup, but just in the interest of trying to protect that wetland area a little bit, it might make
Yeah,
sense to move
This
everything
is,
back here.
this is the way it was previously when they had the 3 horses and the pony, right?
So it was, the previous owner had done the same stuff according to them. He had never got a manure management plan, so it wasn't anything that we had on file or was ever previously approved. Right, Carla?
I have I mean, I didn't bring it, but I have a copy of his,
Yeah.
Of his
that he
plan.
left with
Okay.
us.
Yeah, so I think he never, Carla had looked through
Oh.
our files and he had never actually
Okay.
gone through the approval process
Okay.
and received
I think
approval.
that'd probably be a good idea to move that down. If this slopes this way, which way is this slope?
You know, this is sloping down this way too, so
Also?
either way, you know, they're all sloping here. It's just, you know, this is kind of in an area, a lower area, and this is in kind of a higher area that's a little bit more away and dry. So it's-
Where I'm
What's
going
that
with my
distance?
thoughts is if this were a pasture and not just a compost pile,
Hmm.
the pasture would be closer to the water than anything else. And this has previously been used and occupied and was successful.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Don't fix it if it's not broke.
Yeah.
What's that distance?
So the one for the compost pile is probably 50 feet, maybe even a little bit less. Once you go up to the finished pile, it's probably closer to 75 feet. I think you probably could get 100 if you went all the way back to the woods line. But as it's currently set up, that's about what it is.
And what makes up the compost area? Is there any structure there, anything
Nope,
mitigating
it's
the
just
drainage?
yeah,
Just a pile?
Just a pile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there access to the back of the property? Do you use a machine?
It's
So
a
you have
tractor.
I have a
tractor?
tractor with a bucket on it to go back and turn it once a week or whatever.
How difficult do you think that would be to move it to the back part of the property?
The one that's up front,
It's all
Right.
back there right now. We put a little bit up front and then haul it.
Haul it to the back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has to do most of it now with a wheelbarrow. And I
You
get
gotta
on
get
the
a-
tractor later and haul it to the back.
Yeah. Gotta get you some tractor lessons.
lessons I know.
Yeah. Put you and my wife in there together, because she needs some of that too. She's scared to death of it. I mean, if we're looking at it, I wouldn't mind seeing that moved, if there's nothing structural there,
Hmm.
seeing that moved, if it's a possibility to move it to the back. I think it would be better than having it, 50 feet away in the front. That's just my thought process. It'd be different if there was some structural mitigation here for drainage,
Hmm.
but, and I don't know, what these wetlands look like either.
Hmm.
So I don't know
I mean,
like,
it's
if
just
there's
like,
vegetation
there's vegetative
between.
buffer in between them, and then you go down, and it's, when I was out there, we hadn't got all the rain that we've got recently,
Hmm.
but, I'm assuming that some years they're
I
probably
think what they're
getting
doing here
water
is
down
this
in
is
that
just a
area.
temporary place for convenience when they clean the barn on a daily or
Right.
other day. And then once that's big enough, they move it up back.
Right,
But that's why we have different opinions.
right,
Hmm.
yeah.
Now, my question too is because we have two different opinions there. How often do you move the pile to the back of the yard?
Well,
Are we talking once a month, once a week,
I would say at least every 2 weeks,
every 2 weeks? Okay.
2 weeks. Now, this summer it got away from us
Yeah.
because of the drought. No, it was, there was more back there than that.
Yeah,
The hot weather, I can't take.
that makes two of us.
And so, that's
Hmm.
kind of, I've looked at a lot of manure management plans, and I've kind of got an idea that generally I feel like it usually gets away from people a little bit. So I feel like if there's an opportunity to put it in an area where it's not so pressing, even if it's a minor improvement, if we just move that front pile to the back corner of your property, at least when it gets away from you, we're not worried about it getting into the groundwater. That's the biggest thing, or at least we're adding distance for it to drain, especially since there's nothing to mitigate, the structure. And previously, we've talked about manure management plans having some sort of structure, which we walked back from, but it's in our mind, I think, as a board to look at these things and improve them as we can. That would be my suggestion, was to just move that to the back
Well,
corner.
The thing with that too, Gavin, that's a good thing. Unfortunately, she's wheelbarrowing the stuff. I don't know, how far is it from the barn to the back of your property? Roughly.
I would guess probably
300
about
yards.
400 feet.
She can't wheelbarrow that.
No, that's long.
I don't think so. I'm gonna suggest
I mean,
that we
It's
leave it where it
impossible in
is.
wintertime to-
No,
Yeah.
you can't,
Yeah.
right.
Leave it there and let them move it when they get a chance with the thing. And I know you can't keep up with it some days, but, she's not gonna, you don't want her to have to wheelbarrow that thing, 5 football fields,
No, that's,
knowing that they are
I
gonna
can
move it
make
with the
sure it
tractor.
doesn't get away from them.
Yeah, and I guess, if that's gonna be the more of a vegetative buffer you can maintain between the wetlands and that compost area, the better.
Keep it small and keep it forward.
Yeah.
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 Closer to the barn, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's possible.
Anybody have anything else? No? Okay, now, do we need to vote on to accept this?
Yeah, so typically you would, and then, the plan would just get entered into the record as, Carla, do you actually issue them anything?
I do, Rick.
Okay, so yeah, then Carla would issue it based on that
Okay.
application.
Can I get a motion?
You want it?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I make a motion to go according to what they've got drawn on the paper right here, and it would be nice to see that done on a weekly basis if possible, except for extreme weather like winter, etc.
Yep, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved, okay. You have your manure management plan.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to 1.4. 227 Mason Road, proposed dog kennel continued from our last meeting on the 11th. How's our water?
So Brian's here.
Gotta continue.
But yeah,
Good luck.
he ended up hiring Skillings to come out and disinfect the well. So they just got it cleared of chlorine. I think I'm scheduled for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right, to come
It
out.
took about a week to get the chlorine completely out.
Yeah,
They
okay.
told me that, but,
All right,
I
we'll
was just
we'll
waiting
continue
to-
it again.
you know,
All right, no
Get it-
problem.
get
We'll
it out.
move it again. Our next meeting is on,
We've got to figure that out.
oh, that's the 8th. We have to move the 8th because it's voting day. I can't look at my calendar because Carla's on it.
What does that mean?
Look
It
at
means
mine.
you're on the phone and I can't see my calendar.
No, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So we,
What's convenient for you, first of all?
yeah. No, I mean, we're on Tuesday, so we got the 1st, the 15th, the 22nd, we have a meeting, right? Or the 29th.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're gonna either end up on the 1st, which will put us
A week away.
a week away, or 3 weeks away. What do you guys feel more comfortable with, Gavin? As he looks through his calendar.
And I guess wouldn't it, Thanksgiving's what, the 24th then?
Yeah, so we have one the 22nd, so
Well, I guess what I'm thinking is that you could
just
go the
combine.
15th and the 29th, and then that keeps you kind of, you go 3 weeks this time, but then you're on a 2-week schedule after that.
And then what do we do in December? Do we don't have December dates yet either then. So that's gonna put us to the 13th and 27th,
Well, we don't, we haven't.
you know what I mean? That's to keep our schedule here. I gotta go back to November. All right, Kevin, what are you looking at, son?
Nope, you still using it?
Nope, wait. Thanks, Carla.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. Hey, do we still have to do this, the call-in thing? Or do they do
You
it
don't
with
have
that?
to.
Kyle, I want to take that off of our meetings, please.
Well, you actually have it on because you have the public hearing for 227 Mason Road. Isn't that correct, Rick?
So it wasn't a public hearing. I don't think we have any public hearings on here. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay,
know
but-
the last time we had it was for that 25 rear West Elm Street to,
Oh, thank you. Okay, yes, you're right. Of course you're right. So yes, we can take that off again, but if you're gonna go to the subject regulations down the road, and you do schedule that hearing, you are gonna have to publicize it in the hearing for 2 weeks, in the paper, so you probably would wanna have a call-in, right, Rick?
probably for that one, yeah.
Okay. So we're basically gonna discuss that tonight anyway, so if we have to set up a time for that, I guess it might be the next meeting. Once we figure out,
So, right now I've got November 7th at 7 PM open. That's a Monday. Any other day that we pick in the evening, you guys are just gonna have to pick, and then I'm gonna have to cancel appointments.
I would suggest we take November 7th where Rick and I can be there because we really have to talk about the recycling center and the mattress grant and what's going on with that. Rick doesn't necessarily have to be there.
Yeah, I've got
I
a
can't be
meeting.
here on the 7th.
I've got a meeting in Ashburnham, but I might be able to get here for the end of it.
Jim can't make it
No.
Yeah.
that day, so.
Okay,
Alright.
next.
Why can't we do it on the 8th, even though it's voting day? What's the problem
Kathy
with that?
said no.
no,
She
you
Kathy
can't.
said we
said no.
can't.
No, you
Yeah.
can't. You can't be here having a
What about early
public
in the
meeting.
day?
It was not an option.
No, it's not an option, the 8th.
Yeah.
No.
So like I said, we got the 1st, the 15th, the thing, if we want to stay with Tuesdays, are we gonna jump around to another day again?
Well, why don't you go to the 15th and the 29th?
We can do that, if Gavin's got room for it.
I don't have any room anywhere. I'll have to cancel something. It's all right. It is what it is.
Want to meet at midnight?
I'm having to cancel the. Anyway, so. Like I can do. I mean,
You obviously have,
cause yeah.
I don't know, whatever's after the 8th, the 15th, I think you have
The
available.
15th and the 29th.
Right. So you actually had the 8th and the 22nd available, is that correct?
No, I was gonna have to cancel somebody.
Oh, so
I'm gonna have to
you cancel
one.
somebody no matter where we go.
Yep.
All right, let's do the 15th and 29th then,
All right.
okay? Got that, Carla?
I do.
All right. So we'll move you to the 15th. Okay? All right, 15th and the 29th.
7 o'clock?
7 a.m., yep, 7 p.m. Okay, well, we got that out of the way, and that'll take care of this one. All right, so let's go to,
Oh, just real quick before you move on, just want to make sure we're just right now we're just focused on the water, right, for 227.
well, that's all we can do. Because if you don't have potable water, you shouldn't even be living there.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right, so get your water fixed.
Well,
All right.
I would be prepared to talk about the other stuff.
I'm
I
not
don't
even
I don't know
willing
where
to
we
address
stand.
that unless he
I-
has potable water. He shouldn't even be living in that house without potable water.
Well,
That's a fact.
the state apparently, I think that's your guys' requirement because
It is our requirement, but you have to understand the state regulations are the minimum.
right,
Ours are ours, and we went over and above to protect the citizens, so,
totally get it.
yes, that is
Totally get
what it is.
I'm just saying, you know, it's not, I understand
Yeah.
what the requirement is for the town,
Yes,
but I mean, it's not like we've been there for 3 years and they're saying, well, it's not hazardous, it's just popping up on there because it
well,
is what it
there
is.
In
there is things that
15
you
years,
can't
if you
have.
come down with cancer because you're drinking the water, remind them they said it was okay.
Yeah. And then what happens? You come in and sue the town for letting you drink the water? Not gonna happen. I'm just being honest with
Yeah,
you.
because
You know.
it's the long-term thing that's the problem in all these situations. It's not the immediate thing, and the people that make the rules initially, what have they done for research on them? Sometimes there's no research done at all.
I completely agree.
Okay, and that's why we've done what we've done here on the board.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. We're not trying to, screw you by any means.
No,
We're sticking by the rules.
I
That's all.
I get it. I completely get it. I'm not faulting you guys at
Yeah.
all. It's hard to keep everything straight with everybody, what's going on with
Yeah.
each department right now. And it's been a little
Yeah.
bit since we talked about the other stuff, so I don't want to be unprepared if we start talking
Well,
about that.
if you have potable water, at our next meeting, be prepared to talk about, the kennel.
Okay,
That's all. But I can't talk about the kennel until you get potable water.
gotcha.
So you can actually live in the house,
Okay,
okay?
sounds good.
All right, we'll see you on the 15th.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right, going back to 1.5, 75 Pierce Road, in-law apartment
I
discussion.
thought the engineer was gonna be here, so can you give me a minute to try to call him to see whether he's planning on coming or
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
put
there
him
was
on.
a truck that pulled in
not? Okay.
outside.
That's this one here.
There you
I
go.
can't hear Rick very well.
Just
Can you
Give
guys
me a
move
call,
the
because
phone
I'm
over
at the
to him?
Townsend meeting right
Yes.
now, they have that 75 Pierce Road on it here. So just wondering if you were planning on coming.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I can let them know what you're trying to do and figure out what direction they wanna go.
What's the date on those?
6/16/81.
I could tell they were old.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the paper, I was like, these are old.
Alright, yeah, I've got everything ready.
Dust rising from
No
the
worries.
folds. I was only 1 year old.
Okay,
In 81?
alright, we'll see ya.
Good for you.
I know, huh?
Jim was, what, 45?
None of your business.
Jim was happy to be home.
From the US Army, yeah.
Yeah. All right,
You
so,
were in the army then?
you wanna sit up here with
In
us?
the Army in
So he
71.
forgot about it, but he did give me everything before.
All right,
So,
so this is basically this property's file, I assume.
yeah. So, and I've got the same here. So it was previously permitted for 3 bedrooms. The house has 3 bedrooms. They're looking to add an in-law apartment, which would have 1 bedroom, which would bring it up to 4. They went through, so we did some soil testing out there to show that the system met the groundwater offsets required by today's code, which it did. And they did a Title V inspection on the system, which passed. They did the calculations based on the square foot of leaching area out there and came up with calculation. So 1,008 square feet of leaching area was provided. Minimum of 623 square feet were required. And so basically the field as it exists is big enough to accommodate the additional bedroom. And so me and the engineer, it's Jack Maloney, we were trying to remember because we were out there, let's see, back in August. And I thought that we had had a discussion that he was gonna take those test holes, put them on a plan, update the plan to basically show that the leach field could be updated to meet today's requirements. So calculations to show that it met the minimum size and requirements, add in an inspection port, and then he had here installing, so there's an existing 1,000-gallon tank. They would either install another 1,000-gallon tank or a new 1,500 gallon 2-compartment tank to meet the Title V requirements and Townsend's requirements right now. And
Where about
so,
the D-Box?
D-Box was gonna remain, it was actually in pretty decent shape.
Was it already replaced?
Not by permit anyways, but it was in pretty decent shape. It was 1990 the system went in. And so what he was trying to do was basically take this letter and say, can we get a single component replacement permit for the tank? And on that permit, we would call it a 5-bedroom. And I said, well, that's not really how I've handled it before. Usually we've got a plan and you've got to, because it's an increase in flow, the code requires full compliance with the code. And if the field passes Title V inspection and it's sized adequately for the number of bedrooms you want, then you just have to modify the field and the rest of the system to bring it up to today's code. And so typically that would be done with a plan and it would be permitted as for whatever work you were doing. So the tank, inspection port, risers, filter, gas baffle, all that stuff.
So why didn't you do a plan yet?
Well, he wanted to see if he could kind of take this shortcut, which I told him I don't really agree with. I think that
No.
you should go through the full process and put a plan together and submit that, and then we can
Yeah.
permit that. And so he had thrown this letter together, but I guess my recommendation would be
Yeah.
ask him for a
No.
plan, permit it.
My opinion is that with all the work that's being done there, an increase in usage, et cetera, we gotta have it specified on a drawing.
Yeah, my question to you is, it said something about moving it to a 5-bedroom?
So it was sized for a 5-bedroom, but it would, I guess they could ask to have it permitted as a 5-bedroom, but I think they were only looking for 4 bedrooms.
And what's the rules as far as that goes for size of tank?
It would, once you go to a 5-bedroom, it would be a minimum 2,000-gallon 2-compartment tank, so it'd be
1,500 and 500,
1333 and 667.
okay.
So I'll just have them put a plan together and,
Yeah.
and submit that to us.
Yeah, so that means, to me, he's gonna have to change everything.
The field will remain the same.
Yeah,
But he'll have to add an inspection port, that'll be the only change there. And then the tank will get swapped out for another one that complies with today's code. But
Yeah.
everything else, it passed Title V, it's big enough, so the rest will remain. and that's fine, the code allows that.
Okay,
If they weren't gonna go to a dual compartment tank, I'd
Right.
be concerned about that myself, but
Yeah.
the dual compartment gives you the extra settling,
right,
which works.
right,
And that's the longevity of that field, even though it's
Yeah.
an older field,
right.
so.
No, that was one of my concerns, like if he's just sitting with a thing like I have, just a one tank,
Yeah,
you know, and he's adding more bedrooms to it, I'm not a fan of going, yeah, you're fine.
this is where we're gonna discuss a little
Yeah.
bit farther in the meeting
Yeah.
too, so.
Yeah,
So that's gotta be put on hold till we get
yeah,
ours.
well, that's basically, we're gonna move that, I guess, to,
Yeah, we'll get
let us know,
continued till-
or let Carla know whenever they're gonna have a drawing for us.
Yep.
Whether it's the next meeting or the meeting after.
Yep, no, yeah, I'll talk to him tomorrow and, see if we can get started on that.
Where's the inspection port go on that? Just,
It go
Curious.
somewhere within the field, so.
In the
the
field.
stone, yeah. Yeah, so they dig down to the stone and put that in.
Okay. All right, so we'll go to 75 Pierce Road.
That was the one we
No,
just
that's
did.
Oh, that's the one we just did, I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. Okay, you have others for us?
Yep, so, 238 Southborough Road we'll do first.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring your stuff right over here, Rick, let me see what it was.
Oh, these are the invoices. Oh, Jesus.
So this is a existing house, on Southborough Road. They cut a lot off over here, which triggered the requirement for a Title V inspection. Inspection ended up failing because the pit was within the groundwater. This tank had been replaced fairly recently, and these sewer lines to the tank had been replaced fairly recently. So the plan is to keep these lines, replace, keep that existing 1,500 gallon septic tank, and then that'll go down to new leaching trenches. It is in full compliance with the upgrade regulation, so it just doesn't have a reserve. But other than that, it's fully compliant.
So he's looking to put in a new tank?
Tank's already there. It was put in a couple of years ago, I think. She had an old brown tank that collapsed on itself, and so it's kind of an emergency repair.
Okay. So, one more time, what are they trying to do?
So just upgrade the system. So basically, from here to the house is all fairly new. So they're just looking to put in this line to 4 trenches and then all the grading that's associated with that.
So this will be a new leach field?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I mean, if this isn't that old, I don't know if there's really a problem with that, Jim, is there?
No, are these level, all these level, Rick? Or the
I
bottom
think they're
different?
stepped. Yeah, so they're stepped.
They do step down, okay. Looking at the slope there,
Yeah, just your groundwater.
You
is
guys
kinda
know what that
high.
means?
Yeah.
Okay. With the exception of that, I think everything's fine. I'd like to see it, it's already put there, so I guess we gotta let it go.
Okay.
Till we do our new regs. All right, you need a motion on that?
Yes, sir.
Can I see her?
There's the document.
Can I make a motion to approve
238 Southborough Road.
238 South Road Road as drawn?
second.
All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. Yeah, I'll just go with that.
And this is a lot that they cut off, so 238 was right here. This is that new lot. So
Which number is this one now?
No house number yet, so it's a vacant lot right now. So
is this where the gravel pit was?
it might be, I mean, it wasn't really gravel, so.
Okay, you would have known if it was, all right.
So driveway coming in, proposed well out back, That's the wetland buffer off of that other lot. Proposing a 1,500 gallon 2 compartment tank, gravity fed to 4 leaching trenches. So full compliance.
2
with
South
the
Road
code.
Road, doesn't even have an address?
No, because they don't give them to us. Carla usually goes and gets them after we permit them.
Oh, okay. Whereabouts on South Road is it?
Right after
Right next to
238. Yeah.
Okay.
He will actually, do that.
Does
The
he?
assessors actually appoint the house numbers.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Looks good to me.
Yeah. Gavin, any questions?
Steep backyard.
Yeah, they're picking the house up to gravity feed. But yeah, that's what you end up with.
Got a lot of fill to bring in.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Get a motion?
Make a motion for lot 2 South Road Road as drawn.
I second.
All in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
That's this one here, right? And you, that's this one? I get this one here for you. Just didn't have the drawing for it. Thank you, sir. Okay, and the next one.
Lot 3 Campbell Farm Lane.
Campbell Farm, why does that sound familiar?
That's the new subdivision off of North End Road.
off of North End Road?
Yep. So, I think there's, let's see, 1, 2, I think it's 5 houses, plus the existing that got torn down, so 6 houses in the subdivision. So this is, it goes to a little cul-de-sac, so the driveway coming up, house and garage, 1,500 gallon 2 compartment septic tank, 1,000 gallon pump chamber that'll pump up to 5 leaching trenches. Reserve areas right here, wells proposed in the front of the lot.
Do they have specs on that pump, Rick?
Yep, so some of it's right here. The actual pump itself is back here, so it's a Myers SRM4.
And that's got a grinding capacity to 2 inches?
Yep.
All that other BS?
Yeah, so
Did-
the code doesn't have that anymore.
No.
I mean, they are all spec that way, but when they took that out of the code, they put the requirement in for a filter in the septic tank prior to the pump chamber, so that in theory they're filtering out anything bigger than 2 inches, but the pumps are still capable of
Yeah, that's gotta change.
2-inch material.
That's gotta change. Anyway, won't happen overnight. What do they call, there's a word for the height that the pump has to pump before it breaks?
The head.
The head, they
Total
call it
dynamic
just the head? Do-
Yeah, so when you look at these, it's got so total dynamic head on that axis, and then gallons per minute on that axis. So they do all the calculations as far as actual head, so vertical elevation, friction
Vertical
losses.
elevation, so the pump, depending on how high you're going to the head, is gonna be a heavier pump to pump the pressure.
Yeah,
up
and then
that
they're all based on pipe size too. And then you've got
Okay. I'm
the
doing this for a specific
regular
reason.
PVC friction losses is all how they calculate it.
Alright, cool. Any questions?
I get nothing.
No?
Yep.
Yeah, a motion for lot 3 Campbell Farm Road as drawn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. All right. And that's the last of your 3, right?
One more.
One more, okay. So that would be stable application.
That's 5 Madison Ave.
5 Madison Ave. Sign that too?
You were still writing, so I threw it to you.
Oh,
What do I know?
I'm just like kinda. I'm lost without Carla. You still there? Carla? Oh, you're still there, okay.
Alright, so back in 2009, they had done something similar. So it was an existing 3-bedroom house. They wanted to put an addition on for a 4th bedroom, and as part of that, they added a 1,000-gallon septic tank and an extra trench. So their proposal for this one
Yeah, Chris, I'm sorry, I just had you on mute while I cough.
No, that's fine, that's
is,
fine.
to add an in-law apartment addition on this side. Septic tanks already exist, so existing 1,500 gallon tank, existing 1,000 gallon tank. On the permit, I've got a requirement that they be inspected and certified to in writing. And then what they're doing is really just adding a fourth trench to accommodate the additional bedroom. So that's really the only work, is just that.
How old is that?
One trench. So one trench was put in 2009. The original system went in 2003, and it just passed inspection. So as part of this, if they're adding onto a system, they've got to have it inspected.
Yeah.
So Bill Schultz had done that inspection, and it did pass.
Yeah. That's interesting to know, because remember, there's something that's a pre-existing condition. If it's been abused, some of these could be in a danger zone, and by just adding on to them and not inspecting them, there could be problems.
Okay.
So,
What's the deal with this grading easement?
So when the system was originally approved, they had grading that came onto this lot for this septic system, and grading that came onto this lot for this septic system. So it's already done, the grades are already there and breakouts already met, but when they had originally constructed the system, they basically filled onto each other's
Phil,
lots.
Gotcha.
So
In
they're-
some-
yeah, those are on the deeds for the
in some
property.
situations, that's a common occurrence,
Mm.
because of the sizes of the leaching facility.
Gotcha.
And that only works with if you own both sides, I imagine.
No, it will
No,
have to-
this is
Well,
gonna be, that's
No,
why
I'm
it's
just
an
saying,
easement.
You can get a grading easement from a
Yeah.
person if they agree to it, but it's
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
what I
easier
mean.
when you're a builder and you
Yeah.
own both lots, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Motion,
All set? I'm gonna make a motion for 5 Madison
Madison Ave Lot 3.
at lot 3 as drawn.
A second.
All in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
And aye. Okay, Carla, I'm gonna leave you to go back this way. Now, this, do I give this to Carla or?
Yep.
All right, I'll put that in with Carla's stuff here. Okay. Let's see, 5 Turnpike Road housing update?
So COVID.
Oh, COVID first, yes, I'm sorry.
Alright, so, number of cases as of October 20th was 10 in town.
So we're hanging, we're not really
It
going
went down a
down.
little bit, it was 13 last time.
Yeah,
And then there, I worked with that Community Connections, and she had offered a couple of dates. One didn't work at the library,
yeah,
but they said Monday, November 28th, from 4 to 6 p.m. would work for them, if you want me to
Okay.
see if we can get
yeah,
that
would you
scheduled.
please?
Yeah.
Does that,
What was that date? Sorry.
Monday, November 28th, and it would be from 4 to 6.
no, you're busy.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah, that'll work good.
Okay.
As long as we get something for, hopefully we'll get people to sign up for it.
That's what she talked about. She
Yeah.
said there hasn't been a whole lot of traffic in it,
Yeah.
so that at least catches people coming home from work, hopefully.
Right, yeah, good, good. All right, that'll take care of that. Let me get that. Let's do 1.85 Turnpike Road housing update.
So I'm supposed to be going back on Friday to hopefully do a final inspection and be able to sign off on it. And so if that happens, Adam's ready to go back to court to dismiss the case.
Okay.
So I'm pretty hopeful that that's what's gonna happen.
Mike, I'm just curious, where the owner was trying to evict her, is he still doing that, or is
Yeah.
he? He is,
Yeah.
okay. But our part is done.
Our part will hopefully be done as of Friday. So I'm pretty sure everything's been taken care of, it's just a matter of getting in there and re-inspecting.
Yeah.
He's gotta come down from Ware, New Hampshire, so it's not like it's a short ride for him.
Yeah, it's not that bad, it's 40 minutes. I go camping up there all the time. I
He
know
made
how
it seem
far
like
it
it
is.
was a little bit longer.
I'm pulling a 25-foot camper up through Mount Lebanon over there, whatever the hell it's called,
Mount Lebanon.
whatever it's called.
Mount Zion.
I don't know, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's the big hill. Anyway, okay, so we're good.
Okay.
All right, so let's see, the Neato kiosk, we're gonna bump to the next meeting when our administrator feels better. So we'll push
That
that
would
up.
be nice, thank you.
Okay, septic regulation update. Rick, do we need you for this?
Yeah, I'll stick around for it.
Okay. All right, Jim, you have the floor.
Okay, as we're all aware of the fact that prior to this board, there was a couple other boards, and one of the other boards decided to change the rigs that we had instituted back when. I've put a lot of thought into what I'm prepared to present as a suggestion to the Board of Health. And we gotta look at the long-term investment of properties for people that are going to go on, I can use the term since child to college or whatever, so that when they go to get a Title V done to refinance their property, the Title V is gonna pass. You don't wanna have to go borrow the next amount of money and then find out you gotta replace your septic system. So by doing the prevention up front, we're gonna get the longevity out of the systems. And it's also gonna be better for the groundwater. And I had the opportunity to show Gavin the purity of the water that comes out of a tank, the settling tank, which was a pump chamber that
Yeah,
it's actually my property I've done the experiment on because I wanted to find out what was going on.
okay.
And I right now have about 6 inches of solids in the bottom in the pump chamber. And I've been using a sub pump to pump this out manually for the past several years,
Okay.
keeping an eye on what's going on. There are no big solids, there are no clumps running through, it's just the settling.
Right.
And the scum is zero. All you're getting
Is
is...
this, just a question if you don't mind,
Oh,
is this a separate tank, like you have
I've got a 1,500 gallon septic
Right.
tank and I had a pump
and then a
chamber,
pump chamber?
1,000.
Okay, so
And
that's
it's,
two
the
separate.
pump went way back when we had an ice storm. It's been a long time, but I decided I wanted to find out what was going on the ground.
Gotcha.
My system, if
Yeah.
it breaks, I gotta fix it.
Correct,
So,
yeah.
And I found out that by allowing the settling period in that extra tank,
Yeah,
that gives you the purest effluent you can have going into leach testing and distribution box. You get no settling in distribution box, which means there's no solids carrying through to the leach field. And that is going to make that leach field last who knows how much longer than a
Hopefully
regular
forever.
system, huh?
yeah. Hopefully forever.
Well, I wouldn't go to the forever point on
Yeah.
all of them because they could be misused and abused.
No,
But
that's true.
by going back to what was proposed years ago, I don't remember when we put it into effect, and that was because of Bud Johnson's idea. Once again, it's not mine.
Yeah,
And I found it's proven to be true, and I think the state should wake up and recognize the fact that this is working because they get all this new technology coming out, and they haven't let the technology prove itself. Nobody's seen how these plastic chambers work, what the longevity is going to be, etc. But I've proven what does work coming out of a septic tank into a settling tank, and then going into the D-box gravity feed and/or with a pump system.
okay.
And there are no issues in my leach field whatsoever. And I'm proposing that the board readjust, looks at this, and we can go with, they make different tanks now also than when we did this back when.
Okay.
Where you can put a single tank in the ground and do the same job of 1,500. And we don't necessarily have to go to the 1,000, we could go to a 750 if required,
Okay.
depending on what they're making. But if they're making a 15 and a 1,000,
Yeah,
something with
yeah, you're
a
talking.
balancing act for
Yeah.
gallonage.
Yeah, you're talking like we have, right now, we have what, 1,000 and 500. You're looking to increase, say, 1,500 to 1,000,
Right.
but just a split tank, not two
It
separate.
could be a split tank, and
Yeah.
if there's not room to put the split tank, you
Yeah.
put 2 tanks.
Right,
Whatever works so the gallonage is gonna be equal.
yeah,
So that we're gonna have functioning systems. And the reason you gotta go back to the 1,500
Yeah.
is you need that additional gallonage so that the 1,500 is capable of separating the scum from the sludge. It's necessary to have that volume, especially on a heavily used system.
yeah.
And I'm looking at the long-term investment. You're essentially putting an insurance policy in the septic system by adding that settling period and the settling tank in there
Yeah.
for the longevity of the system. If you're gonna extend it by 10 or 15 years,
Mm.
it's shot money.
Yeah, no, I agree
Yeah.
with you 100%.
We gotta recognize that we're running out of sand. Sand is gonna be hard to come by, and if we keep throwing all the sand in all these septic systems statewide, etc., we're gonna be in a position that it's gonna be trucking sand from New York State to even sand our roads. And we gotta look at a lot of options that are taking place in our time frame right here for the longevity of these systems. What else would you like to hear from me?
No, I think what you're saying is what we have now. You just think the tanks and the what the hell you go, settling tank section of it's too small.
Right,
You're not
we've
wanting to
eliminated the
change.
dual tank systems essentially. We've eliminated
Yes.
them. We're putting in a couple of smaller tanks with a settling area, but we're not doing enough volume. So
Yeah.
that it's gonna have the time
Yeah,
frame
that's
to actually
that's
separate
what I'm
itself.
saying. You want to increase the size of the black water tank and the settling tank.
Correct.
Okay.
Because the additional gallonage gives it the opportunity to settle more effectively, so that it's going to be beneficial for the effluent going out to the leaching facility.
Okay. I'm just playing devil's advocate here just for a minute. I'm just picturing the two-part compartment tank. Now, the water, does that overflow over the top of this?
There's just a baffle in the middle of the dual tank has another baffle in the middle of it.
Okay, and it comes out through the
You've got
center.
two drops.
Yeah.
You got one on both sides, the same way you have in double tanks. So you
Yeah.
still have those two drops.
Okay.
So it's going to come out of one
Yep.
and go into the next.
Okay. All right. So that's what I'm trying to picture
Right.
here
You can
because
still put a
yeah.
filter in the septic tank if that's required,
Yeah.
but you don't need a filter per se in
Yeah.
the settling tank, especially if it's a pump chamber,
Right.
because it's going to get bypassed anyway.
right. Most of them aren't pump chambers. Is that something we should look into maybe adding a filter to?
You can't.
Oh, you
Because it's
can't.
pressurized.
Okay.
There's no way to do, you'd be blowing through a filter and then the filter's gonna be useless.
No, I'm not saying for a pump chamber. Most of the ones we do don't have pump chambers.
About 50/50.
You already have a requirement for a filter, regardless.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we
Yeah.
already do have a filter. All right, so I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that will help increase, obviously, we have enough problems with our waters
The
now.
longevity of the
Yeah.
system for,
Yeah,
remember,
Yeah.
everybody that owns a home and has a mortgage, the bank's partners with you.
yeah,
And if you're not gonna pass Title V, the bank's gonna get mad at you and you're gonna fix it, because they don't wanna have to fix your problem.
yeah,
So we gotta look at the long-term investment for our
Yeah.
homeowners,
Mhm.
and in conjunction with that, also the quality of the water going out of that field back into the
absolutely.
groundwater.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
So the purest the effluent can be that's gonna go into the leaching facility, the more purity it's gonna have when it gets back to the groundwater table.
Okay, Gavin, do you have anything?
Not really. I mean, I understand all the concepts,
Hmm.
you know.
And you've
talking
seen it,
about.
so
Mhm.
I have not, but
Yeah.
I can
Makes
picture
sense.
it in my head, that's,
The reason I question these pumps is because what I'm doing now, I'm only using a sub pump
Yeah.
with a 5/8 hose.
yeah,
And it takes 4 hours or so to let it run
yeah.
and move 400 or 500 gallons of water.
Now, do we, when you pump a septic tank, because like I said, I still have my single tank.
Yeah.
When you have two-chamber tank, do you have to pump both?
That would be homeowner's discretion. If the septic guy is there and he wants to put a stick down the tank and see how much
Yeah.
sludge is on the
yeah.
bottom, and you want to pump it out,
Yeah,
then you could do the additional few gallons for you, so both tanks are completely empty. But
okay,
it wouldn't be a requirement. I'd probably require it if we suggested every 5 pumps, pump the pump chamber or the
Yeah.
settling chamber. Because it's not necessary to do all the time.
okay,
That's kind of a waste of money pumping it if it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
pumped. The septic tank, that's a necessity, that's gotta
yes,
be
that
pumped.
has to be done.
Right.
Yeah.
But we could just recommend that they do the second tank every five pumps or something like that.
Okay. Now, all right, so what are we looking to do to recommend to change what we have? I mean, we have a 1,500,
Well, we gotta go back initially to a 1,500 gallon septic tank.
okay,
1,000 is not big enough.
okay,
And that's why years ago, we had problems with the 1,000's longevity, but there's so many changes going in the manufacturing of septic tanks also, because all that stuff is vibrated now, so all the air bubbles come out of the concrete, which makes it much harder. There's wire in it today, there wasn't previously. There's big improvements that have been made in the manufacturing of these tanks.
oh, absolutely,
But the 1,500 is what we really need for anything that's 3 or 4 bedrooms, and like Rick was saying, when you go up to the 5, we got a think
That'll
about
change anyway.
what we're doing there, and that would be according to probably the engineer to recommend to us what we should do. But we still
Yeah.
gotta maintain the fact that we've got
Yeah.
the initial storage and then that settling area.
So we're looking to go to 1,000-gallon, 1,500-gallon tank
Yeah.
with a 1,000-gallon
Settling tank.
settling tank, as opposed to, yeah, it's not that much change.
No,
No, it's
No.
not that much change, really.
if the additional cost to put that second tank in, the longevity is gonna double.
Okay, so, how does this work now before a public hearing?
So, you guys adopt regulations, it's Mass General Law 111, Chapter 31.
Hmm.
So, generally, we don't have to do any advertising, but with septic regs, you do.
Right,
So you've got to advertise in local paper 2 consecutive weeks,
yeah,
and then you can hold the hearing. So by the time Carla gets it done and everything, you're
Yeah.
probably looking at the second November meeting for a hearing.
that's what I was thinking. I don't think the 15th is gonna make it. I think
No.
we better go to the 29th.
Yeah.
Okay?
So this will give the public an opportunity to talk to us also, and we can explain to them what our intentions
Yeah.
are.
And anyone that's watching this will already get a
Correct,
heads up on
correct.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, if you wanna buy a new car, you wanna buy the longest warranty you can get on it. Because if it breaks down, you want it fixed. But
I
this
buy a
is-
Ford, I've never
this
had
is-
any
I'm not
problems.
talking about any brand names, I was just making an example. Found on the road dead, fix or repair daily, here we go.
I don't know, never been in the shop.
Is this requirement for a specific bedroom and up? Like,
No, this would be a
what's the
standard requirement for any house that's
standard
built.
requirement?
Yeah.
Up to
Standalone,
4
single
bedrooms.
bedroom
Yeah.
would need a minimum of,
There could be an exception put in place to this. Some of these things we're gonna have to cross. If you have a deeded restriction in your house, a 1 or 2 bedroom deeded restriction,
Yeah.
we would probably have to adjust our gallonage there according to what the engineer would recommend.
Yeah.
But anything that's gonna be a 3 bedroom or larger, we've gotta govern ourselves accordingly and make it happen for them.
Mm. All right, so,
can we see, this was previously in the regs.
This was previously in Townsend regs, dual tanks. It was in the regs for,
it was dual tanks because they didn't have split tanks at the time, I believe.
no, if they had them, I wasn't aware of them.
It was, the regs were revised to allow for dual compartment tanks, so it was still
Yeah.
a 2,500 gallon 2 compartment tank, but they did officially add that to the reg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're basically just going back to what we were before.
I'm gonna say correct, but I've got more research done on it, so I know it works
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Before it was an assumption.
Yeah, and Gavin loves the numbers, so did you actually get to see the water come out and go, yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty clean, did you taste it?
No?
Thank God,
Yes.
I would have been horrified if you did.
I watched a documentary where they could test a flowing river
Mm.
and tell if an animal had peed in it in the last 3 weeks
Really?
by 5 miles downstream.
Wow.
I'm not tasting any water.
Coming
Yeah,
right out of the septic tank?
That's even more, that's why you want pure groundwater.
Not doing it.
Okay. All right, so then what we'll do is, I guess, when Carla comes back, because we don't know, she's still sick, so I'm assuming this week's
Yeah.
gonna be out. She might be back next week, or does she have to wait 5 days after she's done with COVID, or?
So it's
I think she said November 1st, she said.
5 days, and if you're symptom free, then you can go out without mask on for the remaining 5 days, but it's 10 days total.
10 days total, so she can't even come back to work without a mask on. Well, I know
Yeah, not-
Auntie Janet won't allow it anyway, so, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll plan on the public hearing for the 29th.
Yeah.
Pending, you know, we can get everything typed up that we need, you can work with Carla on, you know, figuring it out. And I'd hopefully, you know, maybe on the 15th, we can go over one more, see written down before we have the public hearing. I'd like to do that so that we all, you know, we're all on the same page and not go, wait a minute, that's not what we talked about, type thing. Do you understand?
I do.
You good with that, Gavin?
Good with it.
All right, so we'll plan on the 29th for the public hearing, pending that we can get everything done we need.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm good with that. I don't think we need a motion because we're just in a discussion.
This is a little discussion.
Yeah. So I think we're all in agreement. That's not a bad idea, Joe. You know.
If it wasn't something beneficial, I wouldn't
Yeah.
bring it up.
Yeah.
I don't,
No.
I don't bite off my nose to spite my face.
I do a lot, unfortunately.
I'm not touching that.
Yes. So.
Is there anything else within the septic regulations that we have found to be problematic in the past that we would also like to address?
I'll
or-
take a look through them. I mean, I would suggest that you guys do the same thing. Because just, there's an expense with advertising, and if you're gonna make any changes, you wanna take care of them all at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
How many gas baffles do you find dropped off of these?
I don't go and do the inspections,
No.
but the inspectors really don't mention it.
No. 'Cause I know the pumpers do. Because they can also see it in the bottom of the tank. What did you think of my idea about the stainless steel screws?
I mean, it's an added protection from them falling off. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm not so sure they do a whole heck of a lot anyways.
Well, if it had to be inspected and by you and you had to see a stainless steel screw on there,
Well then, I would guess that it would last on there longer, because right now they're plastic, and they've just got a,
a little swivel, it's a plastic screw that goes through it. And the pipe and the gas baffle expand independently and the gas baffle slides down and eventually falls off.
Yeah.
What I was doing is, in my later years of my installations, knowing the gas baffle slid off the pipe, I was actually gluing the gas baffle on the pipe and putting stainless steel screws through them. So one on both sides, that guaranteed it's not gonna fall off. Ironically, the one in my tank is off, because that's the way it goes.
Okay.
So when he pumped it, I wasn't in any mood to get down in there and put in the gas baffle in it, so
Yeah.
it's off. But I know how to solve it, that's by gluing it and putting stainless steel screws in.
Mhm.
Because galvanized screws,
Yeah.
they
They'll
corrode
get
right
eaten
off.
away. Yeah.
They don't last.
Yep.
The acidity that goes right through the galvanized.
That's why you use stainless. That's why stainless is in all
That's
all
right.
of the operating rooms.
That's right, and I had an experience in Pittsburgh on a commercial system. The pump chamber alarmed, I told Rick the story, and I had to work with the owner. We had to have the tanks pumped out, and the clamps that I put on the pump, the pressure side,
Yeah.
they had rotted right off and blew the pipe off. That's how I know you had to go to stainless steel.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's just my experience in the field.
Very good. Gavin, anything else?
I don't think so.
Don't think so? Okay. Then we
Mr.
have.
Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
while you're looking at, looking over the regulations, should you look at fees, while you're looking at that for Title V and, other fees that come in? Rick, your thoughts?
I mean, it's up to you guys. You guys had done it last year, I believe.
Well, we raised them last year.
I think so. When
Yeah.
was it last year, Carla?
It was in 2019. I think they're competitive. I just wanted to raise it where we're gonna be spending the, advertising fees,
So that,
to put it out there.
the regs, we had started doing it, so it just references a fee schedule. So the fee schedule can be revised at any meeting without a public hearing.
Excellent. Okay.
So yeah, you can do it separately. You can do it together too, but you can do it separately.
Why don't you print up the fees column? We'll look at them, at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, if we need to raise them, we will.
Might as well do a one-stop shop.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so next would be invoices. Rick, I think we're all set with you?
Unless you need me for the TEO discussion, I don't know what that was about.
I don't have that on here.
That was ad.
Jim added it.
Jim's ad.
Oh, that's, yeah, I
Thank you,
didn't,
'cause I was
I didn't even
over-
have anything to write then, so why don't we do that now,
Okay.
head of invoices? Go ahead.
TEO, you
Yeah.
know what TEO is
Yeah,
on Baby Hill Road?
Townsend,
That's
whatever,
what they
to
go up
give out
and
foods and stuff.
yeah, they have a food pantry and you also drop off all your clothes up there and they got volunteers that go in and separate all the clothes. The
Okay,
good stuff goes back on hangers for the people that come in that are needy to take them off the hangers and take them back home to stay warm all winter.
yeah,
Boot shoes and all that. I've been aware of this, but nobody had actually given me a reason to be able to say anything to the board, but I got a disturbing phone call that was left a voicemail on my answering machine in the house today.
Okay,
And the lady was perturbed because there's no heat and no running water in that building.
what?
They can't go to the bathroom and they can't wash their hands.
You're kidding me.
I am not kidding you, that's why I put it on the agenda for this tonight, so.
Yeah, I'll have to check, but I swear that they put in a septic system.
They did just a couple of years ago,
Yeah,
because we gave them a variance on the
And
offset to the groundwater
and I thought
table.
they put a well in at the same time too.
Well, they had a well up there, a pre-existing well, I don't know if they upgraded it,
Thought
but there's
they
no
put it
water in the
in.
building right now. And I've known it for a couple of weeks, but I couldn't do nothing about it, because I didn't have a complaint.
They can't operate like that.
They have to be told until it's fixed, they can't open again.
I think, so, typically it's tough for us to take care of businesses, but we permit them as a food service, so I can have.
They would
Bridget go
definitely,
over there.
they have to have a bathroom or somewhere to wash up that.
So yeah, I'll talk to Bridget and either I or
And-
her will go
Yeah.
there.
They're not, the something's wrong, there's no heat in the building either, and that's not a good thing.
Does that qualify under us, heat
We do residential, but not business.
business?
Yeah, I
So,
It's really not a business though.
No.
It's a volunteer thing, people drop food, they don't pay it, I think to take stuff out of it. There's-
Who owns
But
that?
our
The town
code-
itself, or is it just?
Townsend Ecumenical something.
Yeah,
yeah,
organization.
Townsend Ecumenical
Yeah,
Outreach,
I think,
it is.
Yeah, but I mean, what
I
I'm
think
trying
it's
to figure
related
out,
to one of the churches, maybe.
so it's really got nothing to do with Townsend itself.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but
Yeah,
maybe, yeah, I know we've got contacts over there, so.
yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, they've gotta be addressed and somebody's gotta tell them they can't open until that's fixed.
Yeah. Why don't we, either have you or Bridget go up and take a look?
Yeah, I mean, we can probably take care of the water and the septic part,
Yeah.
the heat, I'm not aware of any regulations that we can
Right.
point to for compliance.
Yeah, especially with them dealing with
Yeah,
food
but
that
they-
they're handing to the public, they have to have water to wash.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah, and it's not, it's all prepackaged, so it's not like they're preparing foods there,
Mm.
but,
No, but I mean,
there's
it's still
minimum
handleable.
requirements, yeah.
Yeah.
In the cold weather, they don't want any of that stuff freezing up in a can, cause it's gonna be a mess.
Mm.
So, yeah, we'll, either Bridget or I'll go over there and talk to them.
Yeah, okay.
You're gonna have
So
to
that's
find
not-
somebody that's got a key to get in, because the place is locked up all week.
Yeah, I think, we've got contact info for whoever filled the application out.
Alright,
Okay, thanks, Rick.
Okay.
thanks for reminding me, Rick.
Yeah, okay. I did not know anything that, I've never been there. I know where it is, but I've never
Thanks,
actually.
Rick.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Rick.
See ya.
You have a good evening. All right, so, wow, that's good. Okay, so what we got here, guys, is invoices, and to me, it looks like a million of them. I'll read them to you and then pass them around.
Oh, well, this is good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, so I haven't been there. I left abruptly, so I apologize if things are not as organized as I would like to have for your meeting. Before you should have several invoices. They should be always stapled together with the ledger to show your signature.
Yes, they are, Carla. You did a good job. There are a ton of them, though, I will say that.
And I'm just saying that there's some of them that don't have the invoice on them.
That would be Staples
Yes,
and the certified mail.
yes. Those are just ticklers for me.
Okay. I do have one for Staples that does for recycling books.
Yes.
Okay,
That's-
the other one is for, it just looks like $13 credit, there's a whole bunch of pages on it.
Yes, that's another one that you don't want to touch. There shouldn't be an invoice with that. The
Okay,
one that you have for Staples,
yeah,
which is the receipt books, that's very crucial because that is the recycling center receipt books that we were really great that we made
yeah,
and we've run out. So that's crucial for you to sign.
okay. I'll send that one down. Okay, and our next one is sports apparel. I'm assuming this is a a shirt for Keith, Sean?
Vogel,
John, what's his, Nick, yeah.
yes, who has graciously stepped aboard more where Sean Pearson might be out where he's a highway worker and
Yeah, for winter and stuff.
right, so he stepped up and he needs a hoodie.
Yep, no, absolutely. Absolutely, he's a good kid. Okay, next one would be Tough Stuff Recycling. Okay,
Stuff recycling, those are the recycling bags.
yep,
You will be selling for $5 for people who need bags. But as you and I were there, when Rodney came down and we did the site visit, not everyone needs to buy a bag. If their mattress is okay and they want to put it into the mattress and themselves, they don't have to buy a bag.
that is correct.
So I
Yeah.
think that's a little crucial for people to get out. The word is
Yeah.
getting out. The solar sign is out. I tried to.
The solar sign's out. Yeah, did you see it?
I have not, but.
Do you wanna know what it says?
My number.
Do you wanna know what it says?
Go ahead.
First screen says, state banned on mattress, and it says the 1st of November. Second screen says, contact the town website and a phone number. That's all we got.
Okay. Well, what it should say
Yes, I know.
is mattress ban 11-1. And then a telephone number, 597-1713, because you only have 8 letters and 3 lines.
Yeah, well, you've got two screens, so
And then the second screen should say see town website.
it does. And it also has a phone number on that side. There's no phone number on the first one.
Well, the phone number now has me saying contact the, look at the website, there's gonna be flyers out. I did get an okay from the schools,
I
to
saw
put in
that.
their flyers to go home. I have yet to do that just because I've been too sick, but I will do that tomorrow. With the flyer out, with the voicemail out, it should be on the cable channel as well. And then the good news is that the webmaster took our beautiful, colorful flyer and made it a lot more readable for people who are just getting the gist. What is going on? I just want to read it.
Okay.
So it went out, and then it went out to everyone who prescribes to an email if there's any website updates, which I have on my personal email. So I got it today at, I don't know, it was around noontime. It showed up on my personal email, mattress ban, and it was very well lit up. So I think that the word is out. We also have the flyers that are being distributed. The recycling center is open on Saturday, and I think they're just going to be overwhelmed because it's going to be the last hurrah before November 1st.
Yes, yes, it will. I'm gonna, on that note, I'm gonna explain to the guys a little bit of what we did with this guy.
Okay.
What we looked at is there was a mattress that was in the dumpster, and he showed up. And we're like, well, you know, I want to see pictures of what you'll accept, what you don't, because I don't want them back, because we'll have nowhere to give them. He goes, we'll take almost anything. And we went into the dumpster. There was a dumpster that had a lot of mold on it. It was dirty. He goes, that's perfectly fine. I said, really? He goes, let me show you how this works. And he opened a bag. All the bags are king size. So there's plenty of room. So if you have a full-size bed and a box spring would probably fit into the bag, so you only need one. Obviously, if you have like a twin mattress and box spring will fit in it, maybe you can fit 2 in it, you know, so that you don't have to keep buying a lot of bags. He said they don't have to be bagged. He said he sells the bags because usually the people that handle them, which would be our crew, are grossed out by it, and I really don't blame them. Haven't seen a lot of mattresses, but what we've determined is that we can tell people, if you want to take that mattress out of your truck and go stack it in that trailer yourself, you do not have to buy a bag. If,
That is key.
yep,
That is key.
and also, if you want us to do it, you are going to buy a bag and we're gonna bag it so that we don't have to touch it, and then we'll put it away. So it'll kind of help save people money if they want to or can do it themselves. Okay?
Cool.
Yep.
And we have bags there now?
I have an invoice right here
That was the,
that I think you just
Yep,
signed
that's
for
the bag.
bags, yes.
so those are going to the recycle center.
Some will be with Kawa, I believe, and then some at the recycle center.
Cool.
Yes, so when the people, Gavin, will be calling to have Tough Stuff Recycling come pick up their mattress or box spring at their house, if they don't have a bag, they're gonna have to come to the town hall.
Yeah.
So I will have some there.
Tough Stuff wouldn't have a bag for them to purchase off of the truck.
It's, at this time, they don't have it online
Mm.
for them, so that's why the flyer went out and said, soon to be online.
Yep.
There's also a lot of speculation, went out that there was people thinking that they could bring their mattresses to Tough Stuff themselves. I can just take my mattress down, and I spoke to Tough Stuff, and it's not a residential drop-off, it's commercial only. So there's a few kinks that we're still gonna have to work out. But I think that we're moving in the right direction.
Yep, that's a good start.
Cool.
It's just like with you guys went through the tires and the batteries, and we're going through with the mattresses. It's a learning curve. We'll get it eventually, and everybody else will get it too. All right, so we're good with that. This one is for Staples for toner.
Toner for the flyers.
Yep. Mass Core.
Masscord, that's probably the DEP sign for the mattress container.
Yeah, 2-inch by 12-inch white reflective background green lettering.
Yes.
Yep,
We
DEP.
have to have a sign on the container that
Yeah.
says the container was bought through a grant.
Yep.
It's
And
horribly expensive, I'm so sorry.
what, $4 and I don't think that's a big deal for the cost of a container.
Don't make me laugh, I'm gonna cough.
All right, we'll try not to. Okay, and the next one is, the plumbing. Did this guy actually fix the toilet this time?
Yes.
Pulled toilet, snake line, couldn't reach the problem with a snake. I recommended calling a drain company. Reset toilet had broken outside faucet. What? So he didn't fix the problem.
No, he did, that's the next bill.
Oh, that's the next one under it? Oh my good God, he charged us $320 for nothing. Wow.
Well, no, he couldn't get to it. That was $320 just because he couldn't get to it.
Oh, so then the other one, this $455, is, a different drain company that snaked it.
Yes.
Vacuum water from toilet, $60. Wow.
What?
That's what it says. Pull and
On the shop
reset
vac?
toilet, $70. Snake flush, inside outside main sewer line from pulling toilet. Pulled wires from the line, no guarantees. I have no idea what the hell that means. Pulled wires from the line. There were wires in the toilet line?
What went down there anyway? Well, obviously we don't know.
No. I don't know.
No, what happened was the toilet wasn't working for about 2-3 weeks. And we tried to get the drain cleaner. If you remember,
Yeah.
we went to Apple Meadow,
Yeah.
and I got the drain cleaner, and I thought it worked, and it didn't. And so, the long story short is, there was, wipes that were flushed down the toilet.
Damn
And
kids.
I do believe that that's in the description.
Okay,
There was
the kids have
wipes.
gotta understand, this isn't town sewerage. You can't be putting wipes in a septic tank.
Where are the wipes coming from? They use them for their hands while they work?
No, they're rear ends. All the kids now use diaper wipes.
We don't know that, Chris. We don't know
can't.
that.
No.
We know that there were wipes in there.
Yeah,
Somehow they went into the toilet.
yeah, okay. All right, so, we'll just, assume that
I'm so
came from an
sorry.
outside source and, it'll be the end of that. Okay, all right, so we got our invoices done and all signed for Carla, and I'll put those on your chair. So we got minutes we're gonna have to push off, till the next meeting. Recycle center update, Carla, you wanna push that out?
I think we're pretty much doing it right now. The only thing that I'd like to say is that the contract with Tough Stuff Recycling for them to remove the mattresses from the recycling center, we don't have a contract with them for them who are taking the mattresses from the curbside. It's important for the board to know that that is separate. If someone calls Tough Stuff and asks them to pick up their mattress curbside, that has nothing to do with us. We're not in a contract with them at all with that. What we are in a contract with them is for them to pick up the mattresses at the recycling center, which we have the container, which we have bought through the mattress grant. And that has been through town council 3 times. The only thing that I am waiting for is the prevailing wage schedule, which is an attachment C. That was provided by the treasurer's office today. I just didn't have the capability to go in and physically attach it to give you something because I'm contaminated.
No,
So
don't worry about
I
that.
don't know how to do that. I just don't know how to do that. I don't think that it's crucial right now. The recycling center is going to be open on the 29th, this Saturday, where it's not started until November 1st. We'll be open on November 5th, and at that time, I'm hoping that I'm going to be in the office.
Yeah, okay, well, go ahead, Jim.
We're scheduled to be there this Saturday.
For what?
The recycling center.
For what?
I don't know what for, we're supposed to be down there.
No, that was last weekend. Or the last time.
That's why I didn't make it there, because I got it down for the 29th.
Oh,
4 of us?
yeah. No,
Recycling center, 8
yeah,
to
you
9:30.
missed it.
I had it on the 29th.
Yeah, they moved it. They didn't tell anybody, apparently.
I didn't make it.
No, that's all right, I made it. That's why I was explaining to you about the mattresses and the guy showing up. That's what that was
Oh,
for.
that's what the, okay,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
saying, how did you get
Because
over?
he said he wasn't going anyway, so. Because you couldn't make it, you got stuff to do with the kids, so. But, yeah, no, that's all. And then we got our pictures taken, and I don't know what those
I
are.
get more time to sleep in Saturday, that's all.
Yeah, lucky. But it was
I
fun.
paid my dues.
Yes, you did, and I'm stuck with them now. Okay, future agenda items, stable regulations and joint meeting. They're gonna push that off a little further, I think.
Yeah.
That might end up having to go almost till spring, cause Jim's gonna be down south soon,
I'm gonna be gone, so
right? You're leaving, early December, right?
I'm not telling you when I'm leaving.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just trying to plan, that's all.
Well, I'll let you know the day before I leave, you can do all the planning you want.
Carla will go, oh, Jim's on the road already. All right, and then our next meeting is now on 11/15 at 7 PM. Can I get a motion to close?
Whoops, what's
Oh,
up, Carl?
Carla?
Yes?
Oh, you're saying yes.
Okay, make a motion to close. Adjourn.
Adjourn, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Yahoo!
Aye. So closed.